still making Marvel Universe figures while not working for Hasbro. Hey, what's up you guys? Artemis Prime here doing another Transformers figure review on the Transformers 4 Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Scorn figure. This is a very, very cool looking figure. I really like the packaging for the new Transformers movie. I really think this looks really, really cool. If you're trying to pick up your Transformers figures and you cannot find them at retail, you can get them at Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below. I really like this part of the box art over here. Scorn looks awesome. I hope he looks just like this in the movie. I have a feeling he will. That looks incredible. I think that's pretty badass. Pretty nice looking Spinosaurus robot. I really like it a lot. Spinosaurus is supposed to be a huge dinosaur, by the way. I like this transparent red that we have right here. As far as the Transformers text goes, ages 8 and up. We have another picture of Scorn right there on the side. Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Series M4, number 004. And there are 4 Deluxe Class figures. I was able to get all 4 of these. And then we got the Spinosaurus mode and his robot mode where the tail becomes the spear. Then we got this little bio on Scorn that says Scorn has the jaws of a dino and the personality of a tank. He's a rumbling, thundering warhammer on legs. Then at the top right over here, it says it transforms in only 19 steps, so not too bad. I am stoked for this figure, man. I'm really, really stoked for these Bayformers. Like as some of you guys may or may not know, I'm a fan of the Bayformers. It's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. But anyway, let's get to it and crack this figure open. Man, what a cool figure. I am very, very pumped about this thing. I absolutely love this figure. This thing is great. Now, throughout the review, I'll explain why I like it so much, but just looking at it like this, wow, look at that, man. Spinosaurus. Ah, this is so cool. I really, really dig this Transformer, man. I'm stoked. Now, first off, he really does come with his instruction booklet over here, so you can see that it shows how you transform him in the 19 steps to get to the Spinosaurus, and then there's the 19 steps to get him into robot mode. Now, I do have 2 gripes about this Dino mode right over here. First off, when you open it up, he comes mistransformed. I thought it was kind of weird. Like, the legs were all shifted all the way downward into a weird position, and the tail was kind of unlocked, and I thought that mine was kind of broken or something, but no, it was just slightly mistransformed. And then you have some air pockets over here, which are kind of weird, so I'm just going to get my gripes out of the way right after I talk about how much I like the figure, but I really do like the figure. So this rubbery kind of tail over here tabs into this little piece right here, which is his crotch piece when he's in robot mode, and there's this little tab right there. So that's supposed to hook together to straighten out, and it doesn't always really stay so well, and I don't think this is very clean. I feel like this could have been a little bit better right over here, you know what I mean? I feel like we get this weird lump and it just doesn't work out perfectly, but overall, man, it still looks great. And when you move the legs around, you get these air pockets right here, you know, so that's a little bothersome. And then the other thing that kind of bothers me, and I'm talking about all the gripes, but this little guaddle thing over here kind of restricts some of the head movement, because there's a lot of head movement with this figure. But overall, like I said, I really do like the figure a lot. Now, the design of this is very cool. I think it very much looks like a Spinosaurus. If you look at the skeleton of the Spinosaurus, you can see that they even got the little crest right here at the top of his head. And I think that's great that they made that move. The head sculpt on this is pretty amazing. I'm really impressed with it. Look at all the teeth right here, and it's got that accurate long snout. I think that's pretty cool. Got these little spikes over here. So I like this gunmetal paint that we have right here. I think it's actually the plastic. And same thing with the silver. I think that's a great combo. And he has bright blue eyes just painted right over there. And this red is very, very nice. At first, when I had seen pictures of these, or I'd seen them at New York Toy Fair, I thought to myself, oh, these kind of remind me of the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters. I was a little turned off, but having this in person, like this metallic kind of quality to the plastic. And this Autobot logo right over there. A little bit of air gappage, but not a big deal. And the spines are made out of this nice pliable material, so you don't have to worry about stabbing anybody with them or having them break, so that's nice. They're pretty durable. I actually like this really metallic look that they have over here. I think it's very cool, and it kind of fades down to the gray. I thought this was actually from sunlight hitting it at some point, but no, it's actually supposed to do that from looking at pictures of the packaging. You can see the sword stuck right there inside the tail. Now, this Dino mode has some great articulation. They really did a lot over here, especially with the head joint. He has this hinge over here that rotates side to side, and that is awesome as hell. I love that. He has jaw articulation, obviously, which we had seen, and you can move the head all the way up, too. But like I had mentioned earlier, you get this little guaddle kind of piece nice thing going on right here, and that looks kind of weird. And then when you want to move it back down, it won't let you, so you have to pull this down and then move it back, and then move this back up like that. So that's how that works. You also get some rotation right here at the base of the neck. It has ball joints right here on the arms, so you can rotate them outward and you can move them forward and back quite a bit. No wrist articulation or anything like that. As I mentioned earlier, you get some gappage when you move these hips over here, and then he does rotate right here above the knee. He bends at the knee, and then if you really want to, you can move this tail around, but you risk making it look kind of weird. So now I'm kind of de-transforming it. So before I get too far ahead of myself, let's get to the robot mode. Will you take us away, Bumblebee? Alright, thank you, Bumblebee. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these spines, we're going to turn them backwards, and we're going to have them facing towards the back side. As I had mentioned, this is going to be the back of the robot mode over here. Then we have these hidden teeth right over here on the hips, which is really, really weird. I think it's just part of the Bayformers not really having consistent transformations. When I mean consistent transformations, that they're kind of sloppy to the point where you can't really replicate them perfectly. That's what I'm assuming anyway, and that's what we've seen in the past. And you can take these arms and swing them down over here, and you can also straighten out the legs, which is not too hard. So just straighten out the legs, and there we go. Might as well move this middle toe all the way to the back, and that's going to be the front of the foot, or actually, yeah, that will be the front of his foot when he's in robot mode. And then you're going to turn this thing 90 degrees, just like that, and then you can see this kind of lifts up in the back a little bit, and if it doesn't do it all the way, you kind of want to push it up, but no, that moved just fine. And you can pull the head out over here, and then there's this piece right here on the back. You kind of want to move this back up and move the crotch piece downward along with the legs. So scoot that back and then move that back as well, and then straighten out the legs right over. And then you're going to rotate this arm forward, so the spines are going to be kind of inward over here, and then this head, you're going to turn this 180 degrees and then move this downward. You want to pull this back and then move the bottom jaw all the way backwards, which looks kind of weird. And then if you push inside right here with your finger, you'll expose the wrist and the hand, and then that's basically him in his robot mode. Pretty easy transformation, not complex at all. He also has a sword stored right over here, and not a bad looking sword. It doesn't really have that metallic sheen that we see on the rest of the figure, but it looks pretty good. I like how it's serrated over here, so pretty nice. And it fits into his right hand perfectly, so you don't have to worry about it falling out or anything. And then you don't want to forget to open up these little shin areas right over here where the Transformers police will kill your baby. And when you move these arms back up, you can actually tuck the dino arms down so that he's grabbing his own butt cheeks. Now, it's my understanding that the robot modes for the Dinobots are supposed to have this night kind of theme, and I really think this falls into that. It looks pretty cool. It's got this nice helmet look kind of going on. I like how it's got this little Deadpool little drip right here in the back. It's not really a Deadpool drip, it's just kind of a spike. Nice Autobot logo that we'd already seen. We already kind of looked at most of the paint applications on this figure, so there's no real change over there. But the proportions of the figure are actually kind of weird to me, I gotta say. This kind of bums me out just a little bit, and I thought I'd transformed him incorrectly, but no, I mean, I've went over it a couple of times now. I feel like the torso area is just a little too long. I feel like the legs could be a little bit longer. Just the proportions look weird to me, but for the most part, I think it is a cool looking robot mode. I forgot to mention one other gripe I have is this section over here with the right arm. I feel like it may look better with the arm closed, but then it does look a little bulky on the back of the forearm, which is kind of a weird look. So I haven't totally decided if I'm going to have this guy displayed in his robot mode like this or with the jaw closed. I don't know. It says it's supposed to be like this, though. Probably going to have this guy displayed in his dino mode anyway. But regardless, there's some nice sculpted detail right here, especially with the lower torso section. I think that looks pretty good. Detail in the legs looks pretty good as well. I like that part of the transformation is to sprawl out these shins, and I really think that helps bulk the figure up a little bit. I kind of like these little elf shoes. I think these are pretty neat. Now, the articulation is not too shabby, but it is kind of weird with the head joint. You can make him look up pretty far, which I think is cool, but if you do it too much, you will just pop it off. I had that happen to me earlier. You can rotate the head side to side, but it's at kind of a weird angle. It doesn't rotate perfectly horizontally, you know what I mean? It's got this weird angle to it, and then you can move it down a little bit. Anyway, he has shoulders that move forward and back over here, and he also has shoulders that move in and out. He can rotate right here just below the shoulder. He also has a hinge right here for the elbow, so you can bend at 90 degrees on the left side, and then on the right side, due to that neck articulation, you can bend at 90 degrees over here. I guess you can move the forearm in and out as well, which really does help, and then there is no wrist articulation at all. And he also has a diaphragm joint over here, which is is kind of tricky. You have to kind of move this back piece downward if you want to pose him by swiveling this around, and then you want to kind of move that back up. It's not too bad. I wish it was a little lower, but it's pretty good that at least we have some swivel over here in the torso. I like having that. He also has hip joints that move all the way out like this, and he can move all the way up like that, so he can kick really high. Wow, look at that. Night kick. He has an upper thigh swivel here that's at a bit of an angle. He has two joints at the knee. He has one joint that kind of bends, and then this one bends all the way through. So this looks kind of clumpy looking actually, but it's not too bad. And then that's really it. Now, this being a deluxe class figure, Scorn stands at about 5 inches tall to the top of his head, and to the frills over there about 6 inches. And here's Scorn compared to Transformers 1 Bumblebee, which I did repaint so it didn't come like that, and Jazz. So you can see how much smaller the deluxe class figures have gotten over time, which actually isn't too terrible, but definitely you can see the difference. And then here's Scorn compared to the Age of Extinction Leader Class First Edition Optimus Prime. I would really love to see a Scorn and Leader Class mode with this same exact mold and transformation and everything. That would be badass, especially because the Spinosaurus is supposed to be such a big dinosaur. And of course, here he is compared to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Now, I know I must sound like a schizophrenic puto because I'm complaining about the figure, but I really do love this figure a lot. It really brings back that old school feeling of having a badass dino robot. I think this is so cool. I really, really do like this figure. I do like the Spinosaurus mode more, but this is still a very cool robot mode, and I highly recommend it. These things are supposed to go for only 15 bucks, and I don't think that's too bad at all. I hope you guys like my video. Please check out tformers.com for a full photo gallery of images that I've taken of this figure right here. Hit the like button if you like the video. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about it. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Crispy.
And then I'm going to kind of